In a cacophony of rocket barrages, drone strikes and anti-radar raids by fighter jets firing American-made missiles, Ukraine's highly anticipated southern counteroffensive finally kicked off on August 29. A little more than a week later, Kyiv's approach is becoming clearer. It's possible the Ukrainian army isn't concentrating its roughly 36 battalions in the region, together overseeing perhaps 20,000 frontline troops, for a drive toward Russian-occupied Kherson, a strategic port with a pre-war population of 300,000. Rather, the Ukrainians might be aiming for the main Russian bridgehead across the Dnipro River, in Beryslav, 35 miles east of Kherson. That bridgehead, served by military pontoon ferries, crosses the 2-mile river in order to feed ammunition, supplies and fresh troops to the 49th Combined Arms Army, whose 36 battalions represent the main Russian force in the south. There once were other reliable routes into Kherson Oblast, bridges across the Dnipro in and around Kherson as well as a bridge spanning the Inhulets River northeast of the port city. But the Ukrainian batteries firing U.S.-made, GPS-guided rockets in recent weeks damaged or dropped many of those bridges. Cue the Russians beginning to run out of supplies, and being restricted to defensive ops that side of the river, tweeted Mike Martin, a fellow at the Department of War Stud. If Ukrainian troops destroy the bridgehead in Beryslav, they could at least temporarily cut off the 49th CAA's units from resupply, thus further reducing them and, in the best-case scenario for Kyiv, potentially inducing widespread retreat or surrender. There already have been reports of successful Ukrainian artillery strikes in Beryslav. It's possible the Beryslav gambit was just one of several options as Ukrainian forces attacked south from their own Inhulets bridgehead last week. There are credible reports of Ukrainian troops liberating villages all along the roughly 100-mile-long southern front. The Ukrainians were putting pressure on the Russian lines along the front, Martin tweeted. This enables them to probe and see where the Russians have weak spots. The Beryslav axis appears to be one of those weak spots. There are indications Russian troops are falling back to the Beryslav bridgehead, as part of a refit and reconsolidate operation, retired U.S. Army General Mark Hertling sarcastically tweeted. Once there, it'll be hard for them to get back across the very wide river to escape. If the Ukrainian army in coming days or weeks can fight all the way to Beryslav and dislodge the Russian lodgement, potentially thousands of Russian troops in western Kherson Oblast will have few options for resupply. Russian airstrikes targeting the settlements of Sukhy Stavok, Bezimenne and Kostromka could indicate Ukrainian forces have advanced 7.5 miles southeast of their bridgehead around Davydid Briv, the Washington, D.